Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, with a cup of tea, feeling the love again today. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you that have subscribed, all of you that are watching my videos, to my members, to everyone who's supported my channel in any way. And a lot of you have sent me emails pointing out articles, especially about Samantha Murphy, people making comments on my channel that are in the area or know people in the area. And today, if you're watching this as this video actually goes out, today is Thursday. Tonight I'm doing a member, every Thursday night is members live. I do a members live. And tonight we will be talking about the Samantha Murphy case. If you want to become a member, it's €1.99 a month. Or £1.99. I'm not sure how it comes out. But anyway, it's cancelable at any time. And in the members, we can always talk a little bit more. I mean, obviously, I'm still following the Samantha Murphy case along with Anna's case that I'm going to talk about today. And I will be doing videos not only in members, but so to let you know that. But tonight specifically, what I think tonight we can talk about things that we can't talk about in the open lives, because at the moment Samantha's still missing. She's got children who are, I'm aware she's got adult children who may be on the internet. So, you know, we've got to be careful about what we say because we don't want to upset the family. We've got to be careful of their feelings until we get some resolution in this case. In the case of Samantha, just hope she's found soon. But anyway, this case that I'm going to talk about in this video, this is another case that I've been following of another missing lady, Anna Knezevich, who is an American citizen, but she's Colombian born. And she disappeared. If you've been following my channel, you will know. She disappeared from her apartment in Madrid without a trace. But the suspicious thing is that half an hour before she was last heard from or seen, somebody, a male, with wearing a motorcycle helmet, black spray painted the CCTV from the apartment in the hallway and on the doorbell cam. Also, then strange messages were received the next day that Anna's friends and family say were not from her, could not have been from her. They looked like they'd been put through Google Translate. To be honest, both the English and the Spanish is strange. So, you know, obviously it looks very suspicious because since then Anna has not been heard from. She did not turn up. The following Monday she was supposed to meet a friend and they were having a trip to Barcelona. She didn't turn up. She's not been heard from or seen since. Now Anna was estranged from her husband, David Knezevich. Now he is Serbian, that's why she has an Eastern European surname, but she is actually Colombian born but an American citizen. But her husband, they were married for 14 years. Supposedly they split up some months ago. Now his lawyer keeps telling us how friendly their divorces, that they're not even, that, you know, it's very amicable. They've not even got divorce lawyers, etc., etc. But it feels a bit like a tennis match at the moment, because as soon as you get that sort of statement from the lawyer on the behalf of David, David has employed a lawyer to speak on his behalf. He's in Serbia at the moment, apparently. He's employed this lawyer to speak on his behalf because he feels that people are not getting the correct story, that their divorce was in fact amicable. But then as soon as the lawyer came out and said that, Anna's friends, I showed you the text yesterday that Anna's friends showed to News Nation. you know, saying that he was very aggressive, that he was having an affair with someone, even though when they were trying to make their marriage work and going to marriage counselling, that he left her like a dog on the streets of Belgrade, that sex was aggressive, you know, text from Anna to her friends. So here we go, it's tit for tat. Now the lawyer has come back out again and given another interview, this time to Fox News, and that's what we're going to look at now. We're going to look at this interview and see he is adamant that there is no bad blood between Anna and David, and that David is cooperating fully with the authorities. So let's see what Ken Padowitz, he's the lawyer. Let's see what he's got to say.
Attorney in South Florida. I've been practicing law for almost 40 years.
Go to the beginning.
My name is Ken Padowitz. I'm an attorney in South Florida. I've been practicing law for almost 40 years. I'm a former homicide prosecutor in the Broward State Attorney's Office, and I've been doing criminal defense in private practice since leaving the office after 16 years. I represent David Knezevich, and it's a horrible tragedy.
I'm glad he has problems with the name as well, because I've had to really practice it. Knezevich it is. But yeah, it takes some saying for those of us who are not familiar with Eastern European names. Now, so this guy is obviously, you know, a skilled defense lawyer. He's got a lot of experience. And David, I don't know how David found him, but David has employed him.
Tragedy, the reason why I'm here today. It's a terrible thing, and we can't imagine what the family and friends of this young lady are going through. The fact that she is missing for this period of time. It's horrible, and that needs to be said up front, because that is really what we're discussing here today. I represent David. He reached out to me because he was getting a lot of media requests, and there is facts that are incorrect that have been put out there in the media and in a Fort Lauderdale police report that we want to correct. David lives in Serbia. He's lived there, has an apartment, has cable, has everything that.
So he's saying that David lives in Serbia, because there was a lot of speculation as to why he'd gone to Serbia. Obviously, he's from Serbia, so he'll have family there, etc. But this guy now is saying he lives in Serbia, not in Fort Lauderdale, not in America. He lives in Serbia.
It goes with an apartment prior to his wife ever going to Spain and disappearing. David lives in Serbia. He has other properties. He has a home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where he lived with his wife, and other properties. They were not going through a nasty divorce. A divorce means that someone has hired an attorney and going through a legal process in court. And David and Anna were not at that point. They were separated. They were planning on getting divorced. They were selling.
Yeah, they were separated and planning on getting divorced, but nobody had filed a divorce petition yet. So this has happened just before the divorce. And I think it's important to add, they had a business together, a very successful business together. So there are financial implications in this divorce. Now, that doesn't mean to say that David was involved. We don't know that David was involved. But, you know, it's just so that you know the circumstances. You know, follow the money is always a thing that people say, isn't it? So it'd be interesting to see what was going to happen with the divorce. They've got properties, they've got business. You know, maybe they've got money, so it wouldn't have been an issue. You know, because it's funny with money, isn't it, really? Because it's like, if you haven't got any, it's an issue. But then sometimes to people, if they're comfortable anyway, would there still be enough for half each for both of them? I don't think there's any children involved. So, you know, it seems like, but again, I don't know all the details, but the police will be looking into that. You can be sure of that. It seems like they'd be comfortable even if they split everything, you know, because it seemed like that, you know, they've got properties. Don't know what sort of money they had in the bank, but Anna, obviously, she was over there in Spain renting. So, you know, I think they're comfortable financially. So would it, you know, would it be because it's not like she's keeping the children. She's going to take everything. There are no children in this divorce, so it's possible that money is not an issue.
Selling some properties, but no nasty divorce at all is the situation here. In fact, they were actually discussing hiring only one lawyer. David now finds himself in a situation where his wife, after he's already living in Serbia, travels to Spain and disappears in a horrible, horrible situation. And David has cooperated with the authorities in Spain. He's talked to detectives in Spain a number of times. He's provided credit card information. He's provided other information. He's actually hired a lawyer in Spain to help in filling out a form and allowing the police to potentially go into the apartment where Anna lived. He's also given me the authority to respond to a request.
I just want to say that because they are still married, he will be treated as her next of kin, because they're not divorced and they're married legally. So he will be treated as her next of kin, probably even more than the brother and the rest of her family. So the police will definitely be trying to get him involved just for that reason, if no other.
Request from the FBI, and I've talked to the FBI agent for quite a period of time, and we're willing to help in any way possible. David never has lived in Spain, doesn't have friends in Spain, doesn't have family in Spain, doesn't have an apartment or a house in Spain, and doesn't speak the language. So for him to be expected to fly to Spain, a country that he knows no one, is a personal decision. And David thought there's really nothing that he can do or aid other than what he's already doing.
See, I don't agree with this because, if your loved one went missing, whatever country, whether it was China, whether it was, of course you would go. If you financially you could afford to go, of course, which it seems like David could. And I know they're separated, so maybe, if he's got another girlfriend, another partner now, maybe she won't want him to go. Maybe she say, well, what are you going there for? Do you still care about her more than me? You just don't know what's going on in the background. So I think any normal girlfriend would think he should go. I would say, oh, let's both go. Come on, let's go. We need to do what we can to find Anna. This is somebody who's had a relationship with for 14 years. If you still care about that person, if you don't hate them, I think you would go if you could. If financially, from Serbia to Spain will not be as difficult as getting from America to Spain, because although Serbia is not in the European Union, I imagine there are flights from Serbia. I don't know. But anyway, he could get there. And he should go, really, even if it's just for a week. Talk to the police, get things sorted. Because the other thing you can do in Spain, like you can do anywhere, I suppose, but what he could do is go to a solicitor, go to a notary office while he was in Spain, sign a power of attorney for his solicitor, for his Spanish-speaking solicitor, and then he could go then and let that solicitor act on his behalf, and that would be acceptable in Spain. So really, that's, I think, what he should do, go over there, get his solicitor, go to the notary with his solicitor, sign a power of attorney, then he can go back to Serbia, and anytime they need a signature or they need some, he'll be able to be in liaison with his solicitor and authorize his solicitor. The solicitor will have the power of attorney to, act on his behalf. There's lots of things he could do. I do think it's strange, him refusing point blank to go. So it's almost as if you feel like, is he refusing to go to Spain because he feels like he'll be arrested if he arrives in Spain? Is that why he's not going? Why is he not going?
By talking to the detectives and providing information. David informs me they were definitely going to get divorced. They were separated, and they decided amicably to start selling off some properties in anticipation of hiring a lawyer. But at this point in time, they did not hire a lawyer, and no paperwork had been filed for a divorce. I have no information about why his wife went to Madrid, keeping in mind that they had been separated now for 3 or 4 months, and definitely prior to David going to Serbia.
I have to say, it's very badly edited. This, you know, it's Fox News. They're supposed to be professionals. It's like, well, that was obviously the woman that's interviewing him just popped into the picture there.
And renting an apartment, getting cable, getting a phone, getting all the things that come with an apartment, and living there before his wife ever went to Spain and disappeared in a tragic situation. There's no.
I do think it's, why is he pointing all that out? You know, it's like nobody said he wasn't living there, but he's going into great detail about, you know, he went there, rented an apartment, he got cable, he did this and he did that. Did he do that deliberately? You know, it's you know, there's just something about this. It's like, oh no, I live in Serbia. Look, I got cable. I did this. I did that. It's almost that suggests more of a planning type thing, doesn't it? And I keep saying, and I still think the guy going and spraying the CCTV, etc., feels to me like it might be professional. But I have to keep an open mind and think, could be because Anna was searching for an apartment, so it could be something to do with that. Could be something to do with wherever she was staying. Was she in I think she might have been in an Airbnb or something like that. You know, she was in an apartment block, but it was a temporary rent, so it could have been an Airbnb. It was due to run out and she was looking for a long-term let. So it could be someone from that building. You know, the person who rented her. You know, you hear all these things about Airbnb, don't you? You know, that's do people putting cameras up and things like that. So, you know, in this, unfortunately, in this age, digital age, there's so many more things, aren't they, that can go wrong than used to go wrong. But, so we've got to keep an open mind to that. We know this was a man who did it. Also, we don't know for certain that it could have been just an act of vandalism. But I don't believe that. I'm just trying to be a bit of a devil's advocate. Maybe totally unrelated to her going missing. But it does seem like a bit of a coincidence, doesn't it? That half an hour before she's last heard of, this man does this. But we have to keep an open mind.
No information on why this horrible tragedy has occurred. He has no answers as to why this happened, and it feels terrible, but definitely wants to speak up when facts are put out there indicating that there was a nasty divorce when no such thing is a fact, and it's not true. It wasn't a nasty divorce. No lawyers had even been hired.
Well, what about the messages? What about the messages then? From Anna to her friends saying about how aggressive he was and how horrible he'd been and he was having an affair. You know, I mean, you know, what do you think? Let me know what you think about all this in comments. I think, you know, I've got this just sense, I had it right from the beginning. So anyway.
I think right now he's very focused on what has happened, that his wife is missing. He obviously wants her to be found and is looking forward to the day that this tragedy isn't continually unfolding on a day-to-day basis. His wife is missing, that they planned on getting a divorce. He lives in another country. He plans on some point coming back to the United States. He has a house here and he has a business here. But this is a day-to-day, hour-to-hour situation, and David is living it like everyone else, and wondering what happened in Spain. Why is his wife missing? I think everybody wants answers and wants to know why this young lady is missing.
I think he's not going to Spain because he thinks he might be arrested when he goes to Spain. I don't know, that not that he may be arrested, but maybe just in case. He's a bit worried about that because obviously he's not familiar with Spain and he's not familiar with the language, so he'd be worried about being arrested. But he's got a solicitor there though, hasn't he? He's already, so he's very quick getting his solicitor in Spain, making it clear, you know, that he's been living in Serbia, he's had cable fitted. You know, is all the things that you have when you live somewhere. You know, just the fact that he has to emphasize that. It's like he's giving too much information. You know, if that was me, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, I live in Spain. Well, I've had internet fitted, you know, and I've got TV and everything. You just say, yeah, I live in Spain. I wouldn't go into all that detail. Just seems strange.
Missing, and that's a very normal, natural reaction for everyone, including myself. But we have to be careful before we start laying blame and we come up with facts such as untrue statements about a nasty divorce that casts a.
Well, I think the messages are facts. You know, at the end of the day, the messages are evidence. That's not speculation. That's not even just a friend saying, oh, yeah, she said she hated him. They've got the messages there. So they have got proof. So he should know that as much as anyone. But he does look a bit there like he's thinking, oh, my God, how am I going to get out of this?
Very dark pall and shadow on someone that isn't accurate and isn't fair. So, you know, we want to keep the focus here on Anna's disappearance and hopefully that she is found. But David is not to blame here.
Well, there you go. Maybe he isn't. You know, we don't know. We don't know, and we do have to keep an open mind. But for those reasons that I explained during that, there's some things, it's just this too much information about his sort of living situation. All he needed to say was, well, I live in Serbia. I've got a property in Serbia. He doesn't have to go into all the details about you know, why that he's got cable, etc. Now then, there was another interview. I think that might have been on Fox News with the friend, you know, Sana, her friend that we've looked at, the interviews with her, or was it CBS News? Let me have a look. I was looking at her friend being interviewed again. Oh yeah, just want to play you this. I think I may have played this before, but so it's just on an advert at the moment. This was her last audio. She'd sent her friend a WhatsApp note. Yeah, I just got to wait for this advert, unfortunately.
Has now been gone for 12 days
So
after
this
going
was
to
on
Madrid.
Ash Wednesday.
Vanishes the same night a guy shows up, hiding his face with a helmet and spray painting over security cameras. And it's still a missing person 12 days in? So she went there, why? Because she was going through a divorce and she was trying to get her life and her head together. All right, she was planning to travel to Barcelona with a friend a couple of days after she disappeared. Never showed up at the train station, no word. Anna's brother Felipe says Spanish police went to Anna's apartment yesterday, found no signs of robbery. Text messages sent supposedly from Anna's phone the day after she vanished, saying she met some guy after therapy and he's great, they're going to his house, spotty cell service. People who know her say she didn't talk like that, she wouldn't have acted like that. And that the Spanish seemed like it was put through a translation app, that the idiomatic nature of it, that the vernacular wasn't right for a native speaker, which she was. We have now obtained, never heard before by the public, voice messages from Anna to a friend that, one, I think helps clear up any question about what was going on that day in terms of whether she had just met somebody or whether she was going to go do something, and just who she was as a person. So I have two for you. First one is a voice message that she sent to a friend January 22nd. That's a week and a half before her disappearance, just so you can get a feel for what she was like. Here.
Hey, good morning. I woke up, went to the gym, got the apartment ready. I'm gonna buy some like cleaning stuff now. And I fixed my hair, my nails, and I'm just heading back. How are you? I miss you too. Bye.
meticulous, you know, somebody who likes to tell people what's happening, right? Very detailed. So would she just take off and...
Yeah, so you can tell from that message. She's going into, you know, like women do. Oh, I've done my hair and I'm going to get my nails done. And then I'm going to go off and look at this apartment. You know, women do speak a lot more, don't they, than men do normally. And do, you know where it's like if you're a woman and you send a guy a text or whatever, this great big long text, and he just comes back with okay or see you then, or, you know, the women, she can tell she's giving her details to her friends. She talks to her friends often. Women like to talk. So I think it, you know, he is
and not say anything to anybody leads us to the...
Would she have then not told anybody about meeting this guy until she actually disappeared? No.
The next voice message. Now, this is on the same day that she's believed to have disappeared. February 2nd. She was last seen 10 o'clock at night. The guy with the spray painting was about 9:30 at night. Noon that day, she leaves a message for her friend. This is what she says.
I saw an apartment that I loved yesterday. So hopefully it will be mine. I don't know. And now I'm on my way to see another one, and everything's doing great. I'm feeling actually really good. I'm going on Monday to Barcelona with a friend of mine. It's just a day trip. We're going and then we're coming back. She's very excited about it.
She had a plan. She doesn't sound like somebody was looking to take off to go to some ashram, and she didn't mention meeting anybody. Joining me now is Brandy Smith, longtime friend of Anna's and of her estranged husband. They're going through divorce. That's why I say that. David, thank you very much, and I'm sorry that you're in this situation.
Thank you. Now, this friend has not been on again, as far as I know, speaking. She's a friend of Anna and of David, whereas the friend that we're going to see in a minute speaking, Sana, she's only a friend of Anna. She's only met David once. But this woman seems to know David as well. So don't know what she thinks about it all.
Yeah.
Brandy, what do you want people to know about your friend?
Anna was a very calm person. She was a very intelligent person.
Past tense. Anna was. Anna was. Why is she saying that? That straight away, I mean, I'm not saying she's murdered her, but straight away she's saying Anna was. You would not say that, I don't think. Not in these early days.
And very calculated person. I definitely don't think that those text messages were from her at all. That's Anna and I when we were in Colombia visiting her family about 12 years ago. She's a great tour guide. She's very smart. She's very intelligent. She doesn't take risks. We were in Medellin.
The only other thing is she might be saying was because maybe because you can tell these are quite a long time ago, aren't they? I mean, you wouldn't recognize that woman, would you, from how she was, like, what did she say, 12 years ago? So maybe she hasn't seen her for ages, and maybe that's why she's talking in the past tense, because it's been that long since she's seen her. But I don't know about you, but it seems funny to me straight away that first thing she said was Anna was, as if she was already dead. Very odd.
We were on the cable cars. She's not a reckless kind of person, so I don't believe that those text messages were from her either.
Now, you have experience with investigations. Does this feel like a missing person situation to you?
It absolutely feels like a missing persons investigation because she would have messaged her friends, her girlfriends. This is what women do. Women message each other and tell them what's going on. So 1, 2 of her girlfriends, she would have absolutely messaged them, whether things were going good, whether things were going bad. It's very unusual for her to not get in touch with any of her girlfriends at all.
Now, you know David, her husband. Does it strike you as unusual that even though they're going through a hard time, allegedly, that he did not go to Spain to look for his missing wife?
I can't really speak to that because I don't know what exactly was happening in their marriage, but I would certainly think that They met, I was with them the night that they met in 2010. I would certainly think after all of this history that they spent together that he would go looking for her.
You were at their wedding. They actually met at that event. But you are not in, have you been in contact with him lately? Have you reached out?
I have not, no.
We have an open invitation, obviously, to him to participate in the reporting here about.
Yeah, I would say, you know, she obviously hasn't seen either of them for a long time. You almost feel as if something happened there because she's quite guarded about it. You know, instead of just saying, oh, well, you know, we sort of just lost touch, or she just said, no, I have not. Like, but you feel like I don't know, I get the feeling she wants to say some more. Who knows what happened? What do you think? Do you think she sounds like that, or am I imagining it?
What's going on? If you hear from him, please let him know as well.
Okay, so now we're going to look at yeah, we're going to look at her other friend Sana, who we have seen talking before, but we're going to see her talking to Fox News this time. We haven't seen her talking to Fox.
Knezevich will be speaking with authorities in Spain today, hoping for any new information after Ana disappeared 2 weeks ago. Now, before she went missing, a man wearing a motorcycle helmet was seen spray painting the security cameras at her apartment. The next day, Ana's friends say they received this suspicious text message saying that she was going to go stay with a man she just met at his summer house. It was sent in both English and in Spanish, and they say it sounds absolutely nothing like how she would talk. Sana Ramon received that message. She joins me now. Sana, I am so sorry you're going through this, but let's try to get as much information out as possible. You said that that text message did not sound like Ana. Why do you say that?
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me. Well, first of all, that is not how she writes. Everything was very strange with that message. It's not something that she would do. It's not at all like her. And it was written in a sense that I didn't recognize it. Ana is my best friend. I know how she expresses herself. I know how she writes. And it just did not sound like her at all.
In articles that I read, it sounded like it was translated by a computer. That's what a lot of people said. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, there were two messages that was sent from her phone that afternoon. One message was to me, which was written in English. The other message was sent to her Spanish best friend in Madrid in Spanish. I do not.
Yeah, and both of those messages looked as if they'd been done on Google Translate.
Speak Spanish, but according to her family, who's Spanish speaking, and her friend, obviously, when they read the message, they said it looks like it was used with a translator. That's not how you express yourself in Spanish. The words were, I guess, put together very strange, and that's just looked very, very, very odd.
Moving on from the text message, this overarching behavior, running off with a stranger, not communicating for weeks, is that out of character for Ana?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, Ana and I are very close. We have spent a lot of time together over the past year, traveled together. We have, I want to say, almost daily contact. She tells me everything about what she's doing. She spent a lot of time in Madrid. And this time she went there on December 27. She also came to visit me in Austria for a few days in the middle of January, and I was supposed to go there now in February. So we speak very often. We were talking about our upcoming plans for my visit in Madrid. She also told me she was looking for a new apartment and everything that's going on. So for her to meet a random person in the street, Madrid, going off to some house, it's no, that is not Ana.
She was over in Madrid, but she is an American resident. She lives in Fort Lauderdale, and she is going through what is described as a quote-unquote rough divorce. Why is it described like that, Sana?
I'm not sure really what people mean with a rough divorce. I don't know many divorces or separations that are easy. But what I know, I don't want to say that it was a specifically nasty or rough divorce from what I know. Again.
So this friend, those other messages that came up from a friend weren't messages to Sana, because they were in Spanish. So from what she's saying she doesn't know that it's necessarily a rough divorce. So
obviously it's a difficult situation to separate from someone that you've been living with for many years. It's not a decision that you make overnight. So obviously it's a stressful situation for everyone.
Police in both Madrid and Fort Lauderdale, where the couple lives, are being pretty tight-lipped about this. The American embassy also being tight-lipped. So, Sana, what do you hope to learn from Spanish authorities when you speak with them?
I did get a message from them today, and that is that they have no comments at the moment in regards to the investigation. What that exactly means, I don't know, but that's the message that I received today. But obviously, I am hoping that they can be more open, discuss, findings that they have so far, and if they have any leads that can lead us to what has happened to Ana.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and getting the word out. It is friends like you that are going to help us get to the bottom of this. We appreciate your time. You're in our prayers, as is Ana.
Certainly are in our prayers. The Spanish police, etc., they won't say anything until, I don't know, till they've arrested someone probably. But one thing I would say that Sana could definitely rest assured that they will be trying everything. They will. It's a bit like the Samantha Murphy case, isn't it? Sometimes silence does not mean nothing's happening. It means that everything's happening. But they will not compromise their investigation, and I think the Spanish police are particularly tight-lipped about investigations, etc. And the problem that Sana has got, of course, as well, although she obviously is a very good friend of Anna's, she has the language problem, and she's not the next of kin. And also there is a way of dealing. There's and Sana sounds like a very sort of nice person. I'm sure she wouldn't sort of be ranting and raving at the police or whatever. But what will work with them is firm and polite pressure, because like in all cases, unfortunately, there's other things going on normally, isn't there? So, you do have to, I mean, it's early days yet, and I'm sure the police are throwing all their resources at it, or as many as they can. But, as time goes on, you have to keep the pressure up, just like probably in any country, but politely, firmly, just let them know you're not going away. Can you say anything? And when they can say something, they will, I'm sure, because they will, they know they know what it's like. They are respectful to people who have, worrying about somebody, etc. That's what I would say. I would be very surprised if they weren't, if they would, they're not just thinking, oh, we can't be bothered dealing with this. They'll be dealing with it. They'll definitely be dealing with it. And I think I mentioned before, I have been in contact with Sana to offer any help that I can, but it sounds like she's got, people there who are helping her out, etc. And honestly, if I was her, I would be contacting, everyone I can, people in politics, in the government even, because, Spain will not want this. When somebody goes missing, American citizen go missing in their country, they won't, they'll want to get this sorted as soon as possible. Anyway, so that's the update that I've got for you so far, and about Ana. I will not give any time I hear any kind of update whatsoever. I'll be letting you know what's going on. I look every day, just like I do over Samantha Murphy, for news. people let me know things. You know, I'm constantly on the lookout for any more information in this case, and I still hope. I think especially with Anna, I do feel that somebody may have taken her, and if somebody has taken her, she may still be alive. So we don't have to think that it's the worst case scenario, because she may be being held somewhere. And that we just have to sort of. I know it sounds awful to think you have to hope that she's been kidnapped, but at least if she has actually been kidnapped, she may well still be alive. So that is the positive outcome, because we don't want the other outcome, do we? So okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. Please like the video if you found it informative, interesting, respectful. Please think about subscribing if you want to find out like further notifications of what the news is about Anna or Samantha. Remember to press the notification, pressing the bell and the notifications, so you don't miss any updates. And if you're a member, apart from thank you for being a member, tonight is the members only live. We will be talking more about Samantha's case. So, as always, live and love wisely, carefully. It's difficult because you don't always know someone's a twonk when you first meet them. And also look after you, because you are the most important person. And until I see you again, may your God go with you. Thank you. Bye.